Yeah, so why your accounting business isn't growing and how to fix it. So one of the biggest challenges I see people facing when it comes to starting an accounting business is that they're trying really hard. They feel like they're doing everything, but they're not. Oh, sorry, I saw a picture of me online. They're trying really everything, but getting they're not really getting much out of it. You know what I mean? And it's like it's a lot of effort that you're applying, but you're not really seeing results. And I want to kind of break down what's going on today. So, number one, marketing. So, we'll first just focus on the marketing, like that's bringing in the leads or the lack thereof. So, number one, when it comes to marketing, I almost think of marketing kind of like working out at the gym. Now, when I was first getting started, when I was working in the gym, I was just like kind of doing some different things that I saw like on YouTube channels. So like for example, it'd be like I'd watch like this Arnold Schwarzenegger video, and he'd be like, do this kind of like shoulder press. I'm like, okay, cool, let me do this shoulder press. And then I would see another one's like bicep curls. Okay, cool. Then like I would read a couple books about it, and I'd be like, okay, cool. So now this book is telling me to do like some like squats or deadlifts or these just random things that you can do and that you could try, right? And I was like, trying to put together my own workouts, and I worked out for about a year and a half, and like I was seeing some results, but not really that many results. You know what I mean? And I was in the gym at least like an hour and a half, 2 hours a day because I really enjoyed it. And like this is like when I was younger, so I didn't really have as much work commitments and stuff like that, right? So, and it was like, okay, well, I'm working really hard. Why am I not like getting either like ripped, or why am I not getting buff like these people? And then what happened was one day I ran into this guy, and he was actually a personal trainer. And like it was a couple years after I started working at the gym, right? Because I had started making money in my job, and I had just discretionary income. So I was like, let me see if I can like start working with this guy as a personal trainer. This guy started putting together my workouts, right? And in those workouts, it was like I would only be working out for anywhere between like 45 minutes to an hour, right? I would do some exercise, like gym exercise, where I wouldn't really feel them like working that much. And we focused a lot on like my eating, right? So as soon as I just started eating better and I did like the bare minimum workouts, then my body weight started going down, right? I actually lost like 30 pounds in the span of, I think like it was like three to 6 months. And it was very, very cool at the time. And the moral of the story is when you start doing the right, well, it's two moral stories. When you start doing the right things, you don't have to try or work as hard, and naturally you start getting the results. Also, if you don't know what the right things are doing and you're spinning your wheels, invest in something or someone that can help you get the right strategies in place so you can reduce the effort, right? Because it's kind of tough too, especially if you're working a full-time job while trying to get this business off the ground. Like, it's like there's just so much stuff that we don't know about, when there's just not that much time we have in the day to kind of mess around and do things incorrectly. So, number one, when it comes to marketing, right? Oftentimes, the way that most people think about marketing is they think about posting. Now, posting is not going to bring in leads the way you think it is, right? Because in a lot of cases, your posts are only going to get seen by a subsection of the people who already know you exist. So let's say you have 100 people that are following you on Facebook, for example. Out of those 100 people, you only have 5 business owners, let's just say hypothetically. So 5 business owners. So the most you can ever reach with a piece of content is 5 business owners, right? Because it's going to be a subset. And sometimes you might only get one of those business owners to see it. Sometimes you might get all of them to see it. But you're never going to get 6, 7, 8, 10 people just by posting, right? So you have to expand your audience first. What a post is really going to do is that when a new audience member sees your content or sees your post, then they're going to like you more and want to buy from you. So what do you do next? Okay, so I was talking to a guy earlier this week, and he was like, okay, so cool. So I didn't post on my profile. I posted inside some other groups. Okay, so you start posting groups. Now, the reason why this is tough is because a lot of groups will not actually let you post. It'll say like your post is pending. So when I looked at his stuff, he had 5 posts pending in like 10 different groups. And like, wait. So did you check to see whether or not your post actually got published? He goes, no, I didn't even know I was supposed to do that. I was like, oh. Because it sends you a notification when it says that your post is pending, right? But the funny thing is, if like he was doing that, like if that was his strategy, he would have basically been moving and spinning his wheels with nothing happening, because it's been a week and all 5 of those posts and all 10 of those groups were not getting approved. So he could have kept doing that every single day and day and day and day and day, and nothing would happen. And he'd feel like, man, I should have gotten results by now. And it's like, well, no, if it doesn't matter how hard you try, if you're doing the wrong thing, you're not going to get any results. So two parts, you have to go and build your audience. So easy way to do that on social media would be sending friend requests. Now, there's a whole methodology of friend requests and like what to send and who to say it. We have videos on this channel that kind of breaks it down, so I'm not going to go into super detail about who to send to, but your job is to look for people that look like business owners that you'd actually want to work with. That's numero uno. If I can find a business owner that looks like someone I want to work with, then I'm going to be, killing it 9 times out of 10. Because it doesn't take that many people to do it, right? But I have to be sending the friend requests, right? That's number one. Then number two, when I start making those posts that are going to be in my profiles, I need to understand that those posts are just designed for people to like me more. Sorry, I dropped my gold coin. Like me more and more and more. That's the only purpose of it. Now, in a lot of cases, you can try to get your post to book a call, but that can be very challenging because if you're not doing it consistently, it's not really going to lead to people wanting to take a buying decision from you. That's the one thing that people don't understand. With content, and that's like posting, you have to do it consistently. 90% of people are not going to buy from you after one post. They're going to buy from you after 10, 20, 30, 40 posts. Like, Bryce, after I 40 blog posts, yes and no. I mean, you could use ChatGPT to kind of do it, but I would probably learn the basics of writing marketing posts, right? If you're going to be doing that, so you get an understanding of like, if ChatGPT writes something out for you, do you know if it's actually good or if it's something that people would actually like to read or to watch, right? Because that's a really important thing. If it's not, then it's just not going to go anywhere. You're just kind of, again, spinning your wheels, right? But at the end of the day, the content should communicate who you are, what you do, how you help, and why you're different. Okay? That's all content needs to be able to do at the level that you're at right now. Once you start getting better and better and start getting a larger audience, okay, then there's some different things we can do. But at least in the beginning, your first priority is to build the audience. Second priority, start building, the communication of how you're different. Right? Because it's tough when you're doing accounting services. If you have an audience that's very unsophisticated, they're going to see your service as a commodity. That just means that everyone basically is the same, right? And you have to be able to prove to them why you're different than everyone else in order for them to actually pull their credit card out and then start wanting to work with you. And it can be a little bit frustrating in the beginning if you don't know what you're doing, but it's just part of the game. Right, so the next thing is going to be sales. So let's say that you're actually getting in front of people, because like a lot of new accounts and bookkeepers think you need thousands and thousands of leads in order to make money. We've had students get up to 50 grand per year with 2 sales calls, and like that's the first sales call got into 50 grand. The second sales call was just another potential client, right? And the reason why is because like if you're doing your marketing, you're reaching out to the right people, and you're getting the right people on the phone call, then it's just a matter of if you can maintain that trust and build that value that a business owner is looking for in order to pay the money, right? Because the amount of money someone's going to pay you is going to be proportional to their business, right? So if you're talking to a business that is a startup and has $0 in revenue, they're going to pay you $0 a month. If you're talking to someone that's doing $10 million a month, they can pay you 10 grand a month. You know what I mean? So it's all proportional to the business that you're talking to. Now, 2 things I said there. Number 1 is building the value. So on the consultation call, you have to learn how to build value and communicate the value. Now, for the most basic, simplistic definition of value, and because this took me years to understand what value was. Value is what is the other business owner focused on? Value is focus. Right? I'm going to focus on what the other person is focused on. I'm just going to communicate how can I help them accomplish that specific thing that they are focused on right now, and then tell them some other future things that are going to be the next focus point in the future. If I do that, they hire you so much more frequently, right? That's when you start getting, 75% of people who get on a call who don't know you exist. I'm not talking about referral traffic. I'm talking about people that don't know you from Steve are going to buy from you 75% of the time if you can communicate the value properly and focus on what they focus on. If it's a referral, you should be closing referrals like 90, 95%, right? That's why we do teach in our program how to build good referral sources. So we had a guy. This guy, his name is Matt. He just got a company that does $10 million per year off referral. They have a cleanup that goes back to 2012. I'd really like to confirm with him how much that cleanup's going to be, but it could be close to 60, 70 grand for that cleanup. It's horrendous because they're going to get audited soon, so they have to go back as far as possible. So it's a horrendously large cleanup. But Again, it comes from referral partners, right? So that's one way you can kind of grow your business. We have different videos on referral partners, but we teach you what to say with referral partners, how to get them to want to send you clients, how to go find good partners, and then how to like make sure that when the leads come to them, you can close the deal as much as possible. But the next part about why most people's firms are not growing is because of trust, right? So trust is going to equal congruence. Okay, so congruent, it means like, do you show up on time for your call? If your call is like at 1 o'clock and you show up at 1:05, that's not congruent. If you're like, oh, I was late from work, it's like, that's not congruent. No one's gonna work with you, right? So it's like that's a side tangent. If you know you're gonna be late from work for a day, just like tell them ahead of time or schedule a call like 30 minutes later than what you think you're gonna be home from work at. That's a pro tip. Don't ask me how I know. Just know that that's what I had to do when I first got started. Next thing is you just show up like a professional. Know what you're talking about. Only talk about stuff you know. Like the problem I see a lot of people do in sales calls is like if they don't know something and they act like they know it, then they lose so much trust in the business owner because like people can tell when you don't know something, and it's okay to admit you don't know everything. It's a-okay to admit that. No one is expecting for you to know every single thing. Okay, it's just you probably expect yourself to know every single thing, and just like you don't have to. Next thing is your story needs to be consistent. So like, what's your life story? Tell in a very consistent manner, right? Especially if they're trying to figure out who are you. If they keep asking who are you in different ways, it generally means that they either don't understand or they're trying to find inconsistencies inside of your story. So just tell them who you are in a repeated manner over and over again. That's it. That's all you got to do. Next thing, your confidence has to be unwavering. Now, your confidence means the reason why previously that I said you have to make sure that you only talk about things you know is because if you know something, you can be confident about it, right? And the more that you can communicate that what you just said was true and that you know what you're talking about, the more people are like, okay, this person knows what they're talking about. This is the right person for the job. But that does not mean that you will not feel nervous. You can be confident while feeling nervous. It's just about like state control and controlling your emotions. If you have trouble controlling your emotions, there are like some different like tips and tricks that we can kind of teach you inside of our program. But you gotta just learn how to really structure and like stand inside of that nervousness and be a solid rock that knows what they're talking about. That's the biggest thing. If you can do that, you're golden. You're gonna win this game 9 times out of 10, right? But those are the main reasons why most people's accounting business is not growing. Their marketing is just not good, so they just never get people on the phone. Their audience is not growing, so no one knows they exist. When someone does get on the phone, no one trusts them for a lot of different reasons, as we just kind of talked about. But once you can really figure that out and grow, you're going to be able to grow your business very quickly. Okay, so also if you want some help growing your business, maybe you've been trying to figure this stuff out, or maybe you're thinking about starting a business, you just see there's a lot of like stuff you don't know. If you want help, click the link inside the description below the video. Book a call with myself. Let's see if I can help you inside of our mentorship program. Okay, on the call, I'm going to take you through where are you now, where do you want to go, and if I think I can help you out, I'm just going to kind of outline what a plan and a process would look like for us to work together so you can go and reach your goals in the shortest time period possible, okay? If you want to go and see if this can help you, click the link. I'll see you on the call, okay? And if you're not quite ready for that, that's okay too. I'll see you inside of the next video. Either way, have a great rest of your day. Make it easy.